You did it, Seattle. You collapsed out of the playoffs. Good for you. What is up, everyone? What's going on? My name is Matthew Leininger, House of Seahawks here. And sadly, the Seattle Seahawks have been eliminated from the postseason in 2023. Green Bay Packers are going to get in, and they are going to be traveling to Dallas to play the Cowboys. And I know a lot of you guys might be thinking I'm disappointed. And honestly, I'm not. I'm not. I did say it was possible Chicago could beat them. It was a one possession game, so it was totally possible. But as I've been saying throughout the season, this team is just very inconsistent, though. Sometimes the defense plays good. Sometimes the offense plays good. And then sometimes we're just bad. We look like a really bad team. A lot of our losses, our 4-game losing streak was not good. The first Rams game was bad. The Bengals game was bad. The Ravens game was even worse. We just had a lot of bad losses. And for a team that was expected to maybe bump up a little bit, some people were even saying Seahawks could win the NFC West. We were nowhere close. We didn't get number 3. I'm sorry. We didn't get number 2 in the division. We got number 3. And for a team that was expected to improve, we didn't. So that's not good. That's not good for the Seahawks. And at one point, we were 6-3. We were number 1 in the NFC West when the 49ers were on their 3-game losing streak. And now we're in a scenario where I'm like, things need to change. We need to have some changes this offseason, though. And I'm not talking about like trading away our best player or anything. No. That's not what I want. Like what we did with Russell Wilson 2 years ago. We need coaching changes. Shane Waldron, he's out. I'm fucking sick of him. I'm tired of him. I hope this is his last game. Because the consistency is just not there. I don't know what his obsession with screen passes are, and they just don't work. But then you look at the last drive where he throws it deep to Tyler Lockett, and it's a good throw. It's a good gain. Tyler Lockett's specialty is deep balls, and we rarely use that this year. Why? I don't get it. Though, even the commentators call out the play calling and are like, I wonder why they're not doing this. And then we start doing it, and it works. We have halves of football where the offense looks good, and then we have halves of football where the offense doesn't look good. Or you have the Cowboys game where it's like, oh yeah, the play design was for Micah Parsons to be left unblocked. How do you leave Micah Parsons unblocked? He's the best defensive player on the Cowboys. He's a beast. Have you not been seeing the tape or anything? It just makes absolutely no sense. So he is my number 1 guy that I want out. If we do not fire him this offseason, I will be very upset about that. And I'm not going to have any faith in the Seahawks next year. Another one, sadly, I think we need to release Geno Smith. Geno Smith, he's good. He's actually really clutch for us all year. He came up with multiple game-winning drives against the Lions, the Browns. Just came up with a game-winning drive against the Cardinals. Though, of course, the Rams, like the final drive, the missed kick, that's not Geno's fault though. That's Jason Myers' fault, but it was a long kick, so we're not going to talk about that one though. But like, I don't think Geno Smith has been bad for us. He just hasn't been good. But he's just going to keep us in that mid, and that's a little unacceptable, especially just as I said for a team that was expected to improve and be great. So I think we got to release him. We gave him a nice contract where he gets paid, but then we also get to keep him for another year. And since we missed the playoffs and the quarterback draft class is heavy, we could be in a scenario to get a quarterback. Now, I know a lot of people want Michael Penix from the Washington Huskies. So me personally, honestly, I'd like Caleb Williams. Like, I've heard a lot of great things about him, though. But like, I don't want to trade up. I just want to stay where we're at because we have 3 great wide receivers, 2 good running backs. We could throw a quarterback in our offense and be like, have fun. Have fun with the weapons you have. Another one, Clint Hurt, our defensive coordinator. If he has to be on the hot seat, at the very least, he has to be on the hot seat though, because what he's done with our defense really ever since like the 4-game, like it seems he has like a couple games where the defense is pretty good. And it's like, hey, I kind of like this defense. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, the defense sucks. The run game sucks. The secondary is terrible. We're putting Jamal Adams in coverage, which he sucks in coverage, and he's probably getting released as well. And if he doesn't get fired, I don't think that's the worst thing ever, though. But he's definitely on the hot seat this year, and if he doesn't prove next year, I think he needs to be fired. But with the Seahawks right now, I just feel like we're stuck in that mid though. But then, and in a division with the 49ers and the Rams, and even the Cardinals almost beat us twice. The Cardinals were not as bad as we thought they were going to be, and they did pull out some upsets. I mean, look, last week they beat the Eagles though, so Arizona obviously was not as bad as what everyone thought they would be. So even beating them is going to be difficult. But yeah, we nearly went 0-6 in the division. That's just unacceptable for a team that was expected to be a contender. And one of my biggest ones is the high up, Pete Carroll. Now I'm not saying fire Pete Carroll. If that was his last game, okay, fine. If he sticks around for another year, cool. The reason why I'm calling out Pete Carroll is because last 3 years, his teams have been mid. 7-10 last year. Russell Wilson, not a good team. 9-8 with Geno Smith. Like, we were okay. We snuck to the playoffs. Everyone knew we were going to get destroyed against the 49ers. And then we missed the playoffs this year, barely. And just as if our team that was expected to take a step up, that's not acceptable. And also, some of his latest hirings have not been good. Ken Norton was terrible as a defensive coordinator, one of the worst hirings we've ever had. Firing Brian Schottenheimer and hiring Shane Waldron was not a good hire. Clint Hurtt doesn't look like a good hire. So, and then also Pete Carroll's the oldest coach in the NFL. No matter what anyone says, Pete Carroll is nearing the end of his career because of his age. That's just the facts. So, is this the year where we go, we got to let him go? Perhaps. And especially for a year where I think we're going to get a new quarterback, though, I think that would be a bit of a necessary evil. And then also, everyone seems to go for the young coaches, though. You look at the Dolphins, for instance. Mike McDaniel, he's doing pretty good with the Dolphins, though. DeMeco Ryans, Shane Steichen with the Texans and Colts. I mean, DeMeco Ryans is most likely getting coach of the year, though. And Shane Steichen, he did a really good job with the Colts. I mean, I know they had a heartbreaking loss against the Texans, so he did pretty well with the Colts. I had no expectations for them at all. When Brandon Staley was hired for the Chargers, everyone loved that hire. I love that hire. Of course, he turned out to be a bit of an idiot and a moron. Stop asking that question. But everyone seems to go for the young coach. And that's exactly what the rest of our division has done. And all three coaches look pretty decent. Kyle Shanahan is a good coach for the 49ers. Sean McVay is probably the best coach in the division. And then, of course, you have Robert Gannon, who was actually pretty good with the Cardinals, though. Like just as I said, they were not as bad as we thought they were going to be. So maybe it's time the Seahawks do the same. Maybe it's time the Seahawks go for that young guy. Like a guy like Mike McDonald for the Ravens or Ben Johnson with the Lions. And since I think we need offensive and defensive help, I don't really think there's much to go wrong. Now, look, maybe we hire a coach and maybe he's an idiot. Maybe he's the next Nathaniel Hackett or even worse than him. That is a real possibility. But we won't know that until the season starts. But yeah, it's not good for the 12s. This was a very disappointing season, but we really collapsed out of the playoffs. We did this to ourselves. We shot ourselves in the foot in multiple games, and even when we were winning, some of these games were not convincing. I was never convinced in the Seahawks at all this year. I don't think we played a complete game. Even when we were winning, I was like, okay, this was good, but this was not good. It's like, this wasn't very good. Like Commanders, one of the worst teams in the NFL this year. We beat them by 3 points. We beat them on a last-second field goal. Titans, we had to make a last-second drive against them. When's the wake-up call? When are we going to get out of that mid? Collapsing out of the playoffs should be an absolute like, wow, this is unacceptable. We need to make some changes. That's what I think. Will it happen? We'll see. But if collapsing out of the playoffs makes these changes, though, then I think this is an unnecessary evil. But hey, congrats to every single team that made the playoffs this year. Congratulations to James Conner for getting over his first 1,000 yards coming back from cancer. That is absolutely incredible. Puka Nacua for the Rams breaking the rookie receiving end catches. Yeah, he broke 2 records today. Congratulations to Puka Nacua. Congratulations to the Rams for getting in the playoffs, though. I'm so freaking excited for that Lions-Rams game. I think everyone wanted that, and we're going to now get it, though. That's probably going to be the most watched game of the weekend. But yeah, we got some great games coming up. Playoffs should be absolutely amazing. And I can't wait to react to all of them. I mean, I love the playoffs, whether the Seahawks make it or not. And let's love football, guys. Yeah, just said disappointed the Seahawks didn't make it. But if these changes come around, I think this is for the best. But yeah, let me know what you think. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram, MATTHEWLEININGER. And see you guys next time. Bye.